पुष्पम वंदे पुष्पम वंदे पुष्पम।
দাদা আপনারটা মিউট করা।
শোনো উদিতা, জয়গুরু,
জয় গুরু।
তুমি এবার বলো টেকিং হিম অ্যাজ দি আইডল, এর মিনিংটা কি বুঝছো তুমি পড়লে? যে
আমি বলছি যে তুমি কিন্তু
আরেকটু জোরে, আরেকটু জোরে।
যে তুমি কিন্তু অ্যাকসেপ্ট করো যেটা তোমার আইডল হইতে ওদের কমান্ড ওদের অর্ডার ফলো করলে আর তুমি প্লিজড হলে এটা কিন্তু ভালো জিনিস।
শেষ। তাই আমরা তাকে কিভাবে নিব? আইডল হিসেবে নেব। কেন নেব? ঠাকুর তো আমাদের সত্য পথে চালান, আমাদেরকে ঠাকুর সঠিক পথ দেখান, আমরা ভালো পথে চলবো, এই পথটাই দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছেন, এই জন্য তাকে আইডল হিসেবে আমরা নেব। জয়গুরু, তুমি বসো, আমাদের সাথে থাকবে, কেমন? যাই হোক, এখন আমাদের সাথে আসবে কে বলছিলাম? অনুসুয়া বর্মন। আমি তোমাদের প্রত্যেকের উদ্দেশ্যে বলছি, যখন রিসাইড করবে, উদিতা চৌধুরী শোনো, চলে যেও না।
দাদা প্রতীকের গীতা পাঠ শেষ, আপনি
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে। হ্যাঁ, তোমাদের যেই কথাটা বলছি আমি, তোমরা যখন পাঠ করবে, এটা তো ধর্মীয় গ্রন্থ, ভগবানের জিনিস, ভগবানের কথা, একটু স্লো পড়বে। আমরা যখন শুনতে না পাই, মিনিংটা তো বোঝা গেল না, দ্রুত বললে কিন্তু বোঝা যায় না, একটু ধীরে, একটা শব্দ একটা সেন্টেন্সের মতো বড়, ধীরে ধীরে পড়বে, তাহলে সুন্দর, শুনতে ভালো লাগবে। জয় গুরু। আমাদের অনুসুয়া বর্মন, তুমি পাঠ করে 23। The master is the materialized from form of bliss.
Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Oh, you who would devotees be with hope for name and riches, don't make me your Lord and Master. Beware, if Master within awakens not. Master sincere, none you have, and deceiving you shall be deceived. Be on your guard and do not serve your master through servants or by ordering anyone else. Don't be disturbed or bless. The grace for children never appears in the mother's heart, because she cares for them with her own hands. Hence, her love is so great in serving the master with no one's own hands. Pride becomes a light, comes it, goes away, and love grows. The master is the materialized form of the blessed, and he is the absolute one. Must take the master as one's own. When one thinks of mother, father, son, etc., his face should also appear in the mind. It is better to fear his love than his scolding. If I do any wrong, he will be pained in his heart. Always try to follow him. Obey carefully what he says and try unsingly to plant that by practice in your character. That is samsara. Jai Guru.
থ্যাংক ইউ অনুসুয়া। শোনো, তুমি কি বুঝছো বলো তো একটু?
What I learned is don't ever be rude to your mother, because your mother is the only person in your life who will ever care for you.
থ্যাংক ইউ। নাও আমাদের সৌম্য এবং গীতা সনাতন কলকাতা রাজলক্ষ্মী দেবযানী বর্মন জয়গুরু
দেবযানী
দেবযানী
জয়গুরু বল।
দেবযানী হ্যাঁ তুমি পড়বে না কিন্তু বলবে জয়গুরু তুমি কি বলবে এই প্রথম যে চ্যাপ্টারটা আমরা পড়লো উদিতা যেটা পড়লো ওইটাকে তুমি কি বুঝছো বলবে 22 টেকিং হিম অ্যাজ দ্য আইডল কি বুঝছো বলো
Well, 22. সর্বপ্রথম ঠাকুরকে প্রণাম and সবাইকে জয়গুরু. So 22 talks about taking him as an ideal. So it like to be blind is unfortunate indeed, but without a stat it's even worse. Well, it's saying that if you there's like in that part it says like going to school only doesn't make a student. So if you're going to school, that doesn't mean you're a student, like doesn't make you a student. So like if you have like you need to like take your master like the master commands and like do it properly, and the heart should always be kept open for carry out the order of a master or teacher. So even if you're a disciple or a student, for example, you're a student, you have to do your homework because the teacher told you or you're assigned to it. And if you're a disciple, you have to carry out the master order or commands and take him as ideal, like take the master or teacher, pretend like they are you, like they're not different kind, they're the same kind. And the disciple's duty is to materialize the commands of his master and to move on, taking him as the ideal. Whenever you find that on getting any commands of his master, the disciple is pleased and faithful. So whenever you like commands, whenever you be respectful to your master face will bloom so as yours. You will feel happy, I guess, and like respectful. You're giving respect to the elders. Like the teacher is an elder, and yeah, student is like can be like younger. So if you're like doing what they're saying, you feel something that like you won't feel if you're doing something bad. Yeah, that's it. Jai Guru, Shamike.
থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ তুমি থাকো আমাদের সাথে কেমন এখন শান্তানাম বর্মন শান্তানাম জয়গুরু
জয়গুরু সবাইকে
হ্যাঁ
Now I'm going to read part 22.
তুমি শান্তানাম তুমি 23 নাম্বারটা মিনিং করো কি বুঝছো বলো
What I learned from part 23 is that like the master is bliss manifested in bodily form
একটু জোরে বলবা
and he's absolute one. The master as he or she were one own. If I do something wrong, he will be distracted in his heart. Says Sadhana, do not rob yourself of pleasure. start.
শুনছি না আমি, শান্তনাম শুনছি না।
I think slow.
শুনছি না।
Internet slow, I think.
হ্যাঁ,
Should I do it again? Here now.
তোমার ইন্টারনেটে মনে হয় সমস্যা করছে।
Oh, now can you?
হ্যাঁ,
Yes, I think.
এটা কাজ করো, বেরিয়ে গিয়ে আবার ঢোকো, তাহলে ঠিক হয়ে যাবে। বেরিয়ে গিয়ে আবার ঢোকো, তাহলে ঠিক হয়ে যাবে। ঠিক আছে, তুমি বসো, আমি আবার করে দেবো। শান্তনাম তুমি থাকো, তুমি ইন্টারনেট ঠিক করো। এখন শালিনী দত্ত, শালিনী দত্ত, শালিনী তুমি পড়ো।
আমাদের এই পার্টটা আমরা পাচ্ছি না।
হ্যাঁ, শালিনী পড়বে।
বলো পার্ট
22
হ্যাঁ, আমরা পার্টটা পাইছি না, ওটা পাইছি না।
আমি তো দিয়েছি বাবা তোমাকে, তোমার মাঠটাই দেখো। হ্যাঁ,
আসে নাই দাদা।
কি বলো? দেখছি আমি, একটা মিনিট। হ্যাঁ, শালিনী পাঠ করো কেমন। 22
জয় গুরু বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম
Bande Purushottam, Bande
হাতের দিকে
Bande Purushottam, Bande Purushottam, Bande Purushottam.
আস্তে আস্তে জয় গুরু সকলকে বলো, বলো জয় গুরু সকলকে।
Joy Guru Shokalke, Joy Guru.
জয় গুরু, জয় গুরু,
প্রণাম করে
জয় গুরু। হ্যাঁ,
আস্তে আস্তে চলো। 20 পার্ট 22
Part 20. Wait, where's 20? Okay. Where's
পার্ট 22
Oh, that's 22.
দাদা পাইতেছে না।
I think I lost
আচ্ছা
it.
আস্তে আস্তে
No, this is just going back. Wait.
আস্তে করো। দাঁড়াও, এই যে
I just lost it.
দাদা আসে নাই নাকি? এই যে 20
Oh, I'm so sorry.
বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম
Bande Purushottam, Bande Purushottam.
বলো।
Okay. Part 22. Taking him as the ideal. To be blind is unfortunate indeed, but to be without a staff is even worse, for the staff does much of the eye's work. Going to school only doesn't make a student, and taking attention only doesn't make a disciple. The heart should always be open to carry out the orders of the master or teacher. Have firm faith within. Whatever says must be done, and that without objection or excuse rather, with the greatest pleasure. The student or disciple, all in carrying out the orders of the master with pleasure, is never disappointed. The disciple's duty is to materialize the commands of his master and to move on, taking him as the ideal. Whenever you find that on getting any command from his master, the disciple is pleased and his face blooms. You will know that strength has come in his heart. If you like, if you like,
কি বুঝছো কি আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড করছো
if you don't do this disciple, if the disciple doesn't do what the teacher or master said, they will be like punished, and it has to carry out orders.
বলো জয় গুরু
Joy Guru.
বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম
Thank you and Joy Guru. Thank you very much.
Bande
বন্দে শালিনী। এবার সায়ন্তনী। সায়ন্তনী কোথায়? সায়ন্তনী, সায়ন্তনী, জয়গুরু। হ্যাঁ, এই তো সায়ন্তনী। তুমি
জয় গুরু বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম
জয়গুরু 23
Joy Guru.
23 হ্যাঁ
23 পাঠ করতে
হ্যাঁ 23 দেরি হয় কেন? 23rd সায়ন্তনী
বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম
Part 23. The master is the materialized form of bliss. Be on your guard and do not serve your master through servants by ordering anyone else. Don't be deprived of bliss. Disregard whatever appears in the mother's heart, because she cares for them with her own hands. Hence her love is so great. In serving the master with one's own hands, pride becomes light, conceit goes away, and love grows. The master is the materialized form of bliss, and he is the absolute. One must take the master as one's own. When one thinks of mother, father, son, his face should also appear in the mind. It is better to fear his love than his scolding. If I do any wrong, he will be pained in his heart. Always try to follow him. Obey carefully what he says, and try unceasingly to plant that by practice in your character. That is sadhana. Yes.
জয় গুরু মা। আচ্ছা, আমরা তোমার পাঠ শুনলাম, তুমি বসো। এক কথায় বলো কি বুঝছো তুমি, এক কথায় ওয়ান সেন্টেন্সে বলো কি বুঝছো তুমি।
If when your mom is caring for you, you should also care for you. So you have to do your work and your mom have to do her work.
বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম
Bande Purushottam.
Thank you very much. Now, কল্পিতা দে, জয়গুরু মা কল্পিতা। হ্যাঁ, কল্পিতা, আমরা তো পাঠ শুনলাম 4 বার 5 বার পড়া হলো, কিন্তু কল্পিতা তুমি এই পার্ট 22 এর উপরে কিছু বলবে, কেমন? 22।
আচ্ছা, জয় গুরু, বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম, বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম, বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম, সকলকে জয় গুরু। So what I understood about part 22 is that being blind is bad enough, but not having a staff makes it even worse. And the staff does a lot of the work that the eyes do. And going to school, going to school doesn't through annotation doesn't not only make a student or a discipline. The heart should always be open to carry the orders of the master or teacher, and you should always believe in your own abilities, and you should have confidence in yourself, and whatever he says must be carried out without request or justifying, and with joy. And a student or devotee who puts his heart and soul into carrying the master's commands will never be disappointed. And the follower's job is to take the master's command and put them into action and seeing him as the ideal. Bande Purushottamam, Bande Purushottamam, Bande Purushottamam, Jai Guru.
জয় গুরু, জয় গুরু। আমাদের এই পরে আসতেছে, আর কে আছো তোমরা? সর্বজিৎ আছে, আর আছে কে? প্রতীক, আর কে আছে? আমার দেবার্গ, তারপরে আছে আমাদের অভিজিৎ, কৃষ্ণেন্দু, তাই? এই তো। হ্যাঁ, আমরা এখন যারা যারা আসো তোমরা কিন্তু পিকচারে চলে আসো, কেমন? আমি যখন দেখতে পাই সবাইকে, প্রতীক, অভিজিৎ, দেবার্ঘ, কৃষ্ণেন্দু, কেমন সবাই? তারপর এখন সর্বজিৎ, জয়গুরু সর্বজিৎ, তুমি বলবে, এই দুটোটার উপরে তুমি আলোচনা করবে। শুনছো আমার কথা?
জয় গুরু।
হ্যাঁ, বলো
কোন পার্ট আমি রিড করব?
বৌদ্ধ। তুমি প্রথমত 23টা পড়বে, 23rd ইয়ে করবে, বলবে, পড়বে না, বলবে, তারপরে 22টা টাচ
কোন
করবে।
পার্ট আমি রিড করব?
23rd। The master is the materialized form of bliss.
বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম, বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম,
পড়বে না,
বন্দে
তুমি বলবে,
পুরুষোত্তম।
কথা বলবে, কেমন? পড়তে হবে না।
Materialized form of bliss. Be ordering anyone else. Don't be deprived of bliss. Cares for them with her
শুনতে
own
পাচ্ছি না,
hand.
ইন্টারনেটের সমস্যা হচ্ছে।
Since her love is so great. In serving the master with one's own hand,
সর্বজিৎ,
bliss.
তোমাকে শুনছি না কিন্তু আমরা। হ্যাঁ,
And
সর্বজিৎ,
he is absolute. One must take the master as
হ্যালো সর্বজিৎ, চলে গেল। যাই হোক, আমরা এখন, প্রতীক তুমি আছো? জয়গুরু প্রতীক, প্রতীক,
Hello?
হ্যাঁ, তুমি কি বিজি আছো? না, ওকে। নাও তুমি ডিসকাস করো অ্যাবাউট 22 and 23rd.
Taking him as the ideal to be blind is unfortunate indeed, but to be without a staff is even worse, for the staff does much of the eye's work. Going to school doesn't make going to school only doesn't make a student, and taking initiation only doesn't make a disciple. So তুমি খালি যদি স্কুলে যাইলে তাহলে তোমার ওইটাই তুমি যদি শুধু স্কুলে যাইলে তাহলে সেই ওই একমাত্র কারণ সেটাই তোমার স্টুডেন্ট বানাবে না। The heart should always be kept open to carry out the orders of the master. So তোমার হৃদয় সবসময় খোলা থাকতে হবে তোমার ওই অর্ডার ক্যারি করতে ওই মাস্টারের or টিচার। Have firm faith within whatever he says. তুমি তোমার বিশ্বাস থাকতে হবে যেটা মাস্টার বলে, whatever the master says. Yes, and he says must be done and without objection and excuse. So you need to do whatever the teacher says without objection or excuse, but with but rather the greatest pleasure. So you need to be happy that he's ordering you, and you cannot object or excuse his orders. The student or disciple who gives his all in carrying out the orders of the masters with pleasure is never disappointed. The disciple or the student, jara student or disciple carry kore masterer order with pleasure, with love, then era কখনো disappointed, sad হবে না. The disciple's duty is to materialize the commands of his master and to move on, taking him as the ideal. Whenever you find that on getting any command from his master, the disciple is pleased and his face blooms. So the disciple will be happy that he's getting commands from his master. You will know that strength has come in his heart. So whenever the disciple is pleased and he's happy, then we will know that his strength has come in his heart. Part 23, the master's materialized form of bliss. Be on your guard and do not serve your master through servants or by ordering anyone else. So tumi jodi master you want to serve your master, do not only do it by yourself. Do not order someone else. Disregard of children never appeared in the mother's heart because she cares for them with her own hands. Hence, her love is so great. In serving the master with one's own hands, pride becomes light, conceit goes away, and love grows. মারা সবসময় কেয়ার করে ছেলেদের জন্য, এই জন্য এদের ভালোবাসা এলো সবচাইতে গ্রেট। In serving the masters, তুমি যখন মাস্টারের অর্ডার সার্ভ করো তোমার নিজের হাত দিয়া, তখন the pride becomes light and conceit goes away and ভালোবাসা grows. The master's materialized form of bliss, and he is the absolute. One must take the master as one's own. When one thinks of mother, father, son, etc., his face should also appear in the mind. It is better to fear his love than his scolding. It is better তুমি যদি ভয় পাও এর ভালোবাসা rather than a scolding. If I do anything wrong, he will be pained in his heart. Always try to follow him. তুমি সব সময় মাস্টারের সব ফলো করবা. Obey carefully what he says, and try unceasingly to plant that by practice in your character. That is sadhana. So yeah, you will try, always try, do not object, and carry out the master's command with your own hands, and do it happily. Jai Guru.
এই আমরা দুইটা সত্যান্বেষণ যে আমরা উপদেশ পড়লাম ঠাকুরের, এখানে মাস্টার কে? হু ইজ মাস্টার?
The master is the teacher, is like the teacher or the teacher.
টিচার ইজ মাস্টার। শ্রী শ্রী ঠাকুর অনুকূল চন্দ্র কে এখানে? হি ইজ দ্য মাস্টার, রাইট?
Yeah, he is also the master.
He also no, he is the master. So we should to think Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra is the master for us, right? We should to think. Jai হোক। এখন থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। সর্বজিৎ, তোমার ইন্টারনেটে ফল করছিল, তুমি শেষেরটা বলো কেমন? 23rd বলো।
পুরোটা
23।
Part 23. The master is the materialized form of bliss. Be on your guard and do not serve your master through servants or by ordering anyone else. Do not be deprived of bliss. Disregard for children never appears in the mother's heart because she cares for them with her own hands. Hence, her love is so great. In serving the master with one's own hand, pride becomes light, and conceit goes away, and love grows. The master is a materialized form of bliss, and he is the absolute. One must take the master as one's own. When one thinks of mother, father, son, etc., his face should also appear in the mind. It is better to fear his love than his scolding. If I do anything wrong, he will be pained in his heart. Always try to follow him, obey carefully what he says, and try unceasingly to plant that by practice in your character. That is sadhana. জয় গুরু।
যাই হোক, থ্যাংক ইউ। বসো, তুমি আমাদের সাথে থাকো এবং বসো। আমরা পরে কয়েকটা প্রশ্ন করব তোমাদের কাছে, এই প্রেসিডের উপরে প্রশ্ন থাকবে। আচ্ছা, এখন সর্বজিতের পরে অভিজিৎ, আর কেউ আছো তোমরা? দেবার্গ আছে, আর কে আছে? কৃষ্ণেন্দু, জয়গুরু। কৃষ্ণেন্দু তুমি আসছো? আসে নাই কৃষ্ণেন্দু এখনো। আচ্ছা, আমরা কৃষ্ণেন্দুকে পাবো আর একটু পরে। ঠিক আছে, এবার অভিজিৎ সিংহ। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ বাবা। কেমন আছো?
ভালো আছি।
ভালো আছো?
তুই কেমন আছিস?
ভালো আছি। ঠাকুর কেমন আছে বলো তো? ঠাকুর কেমন আছে? তুমি কেমন রাখছো ঠাকুরকে, তেমন ঠাকুর আছে। হ্যাঁ, জয়গুরু। হ্যাঁ, তো এবার তুমি পার্ট 22 এক্সপ্লেইন করো।
22 জয়গুরু। প্রথমে পরমপিতা রাতুল চরণে আমার প্রণাম জানাই। In part 22, Thakur says only going to school does not make a student, and taking an initiation only does not make a disciple. When you have a master or teacher, make sure you are ready to learn from him with an open heart. You should have firm faith within and do whatever the master tells you to do. Thakur says that whatever your teacher or master says, you must do and must be done without any excuses or objections. Rather, you should do it with great pleasure. A student who carries out the orders of their master or teacher is never disappointed. The student or disciple must take the master as his ideal, and to do this, the student or disciple must follow, learn, and carry out the master's orders. When this happens, the disciple is pleased and his face blooms. And then strength will come in his heart. Joyuru. Bande Pushatam, Bande Pushatam, Bande Pushatam.
থাকো তুমি আমাদের সাথে, কেমন? এবার কৃষ্ণেন্দু আসছো? আচ্ছা, কৃষ্ণেন্দু নেই। দেবার্গ, জয়গুরু বাবা। দেবার্গ, কেমন আছো? জয়গুরু, ভালো আছো?
হ্যাঁ, কোনটা করব?
তুমি 23rd করো।
23rd। বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম শ্রী শ্রী ঠাকুর অনুকূল চন্দ্রের লেখা সত্যানুসরণ থেকে পাঠ করছি, পার্ট নম্বর 23। সো In part number 23, it's also says about the relationship between teacher and disciple, how the relationship of the teacher and disciple should be. So let's start. Be on your guard. Do not serve your master to servants or by ordering anyone else. Don't be deprived of bliss. Disgust for children never appears in the mother's heart because she cares for them with her own hands. Hence, her love is so great. In serving the masters with one's own hands, pride becomes light, conceit goes away, love grows. The master is a materialization form of bliss, and he is the absolute. One must take the master as one's own. When one think of a mother and father, sons, etc., his face should not appear in the mind. It is better to fear his love than his scolding. If I do any wrong, he will be pained in his heart. Always try to follow him, obey carefully what he says, and try unceasingly to plant that by practicing in your character. That is sadhana. Here, Thakur says that we should not serve him. In teacher actually means what this is Thakur Nupur Chandra. It means that what he actually wanted to teach us by his giving his orders. If we wanted to serve him, we should not serve him by our servants and others. Then his bliss, then his all the blessings will also go to the with his servants and others. Will never come to us. So we should always serve him with our own hand. We should think that is our own duty, our own things. And as we always know, we also our second parents. So we should always think of them as our own mothers. And we should here also says that it is here something says it is better to fear his love than his scolding. If I do wrong, we should not fear him, rather than we should fear of his love. If something doing, if I did wrong, then he may be happy in his heart. So we should always follow him, obey him, whatever he says. That is, if we do correctly, then that is what he says. It's called sadhana. That is all about this. Jai Guru.
থ্যাংক ইউ নাও আমাদের আর কেউ আসো কৃষ্ণেন্দু আসছো কৃষ্ণেন্দু একটা অনুষ্ঠানে আছে যাই হোক আমরা হ্যাঁ পারিয়ালদার অনুষ্ঠানে আছে হ্যাঁ যাই হোক থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ থ্যাংক ইউ এভরিবডি আমরা এখন কল্পিতা তুমি থাকো আমাদের সাথে কল্পিতাকে প্রতীক সর্বজিৎ এবং আমাদের অভিজিৎ হ্যাঁ আর দেবার্গ হ্যাঁ নাও দুর্জয় কৃষ্ণ ভৌমিক হ্যাঁ প্রশ্ন করে উত্তর দিবে আমি আই সি
have any questions.
Yes.
I don't really have any questions, but I'll see what I can do.
পড়তে হবে না তুমি লেকচার না আগে জয়গুরু দাও সবাইকে
One second, I just gotta delete this there. Jai Guru everyone. Today after reading chapters 22 and 23, I learned a lot about what it takes to have true faith and the integrity and the character that one must build, right, to have that true faith, and how we could achieve it, and what it means to commit to daily spiritual practice, right? In chapter 22, Thakur tells us what needs to be done in order to have that true faith, that we must within our heart should always be open to carry out orders from our master or teacher. We must follow our orders with the greatest pleasure and not object or come up with excuses. Thakur then goes to explain that if students carry out orders with such character, then they will never be disappointed. Their great devoted hearts will ignore everything else that would hinder their faith, right? They would get to focus more on their on building their faith. Then Thakur explains our duty. He says that we must carry out the commands of our Lord, put it into practice, and then move on with the Lord as the ideal. And if the disciple is grateful or content when receiving a command from their master, then that disciple has true faith in his master, and they have achieved the strength needed in their heart in order to think and feel in such a way. In chapter 23, Thakur explains the importance of serving our master ourselves, right? Because he says that serving someone ourselves removes all the egoistic characteristics that we may unfortunately develop, and those type of characteristics would hinder our faith, so we naturally would want to avoid them. Then Thakur states what we must think and feel in order to build that true faith, that we must rather than fearing our master's scolding, we must fear our master's love, right? That if we are more afraid of hurting or disappointing our master, then that means we have developed some sort of love for our master, right? And if we do not feel in such a way, then maybe we're too ignorant, right? And we definitely haven't achieved such the befitting characteristics to build that true faith yet. And that it's important that we have that feeling within our heart that we must always follow our master, that we must obey our master, because that is true spiritual practice, that is sadhana. Jaguru.
Thank you, Durjoy. Now, Pinakida, Joy Guru. Pinakida.
দাদা জয় গুরু।
জয় গুরু।
প্রথমে আমার জীবনরথের সারথী রাঙা রাতুল চরণে জানাই প্রণতি and জয় গুরু to all. So it was nice hearing you all discussing on Satyanusaran. I hope I am audible. So first of all, I would like to thank Udita for taking the master Shri Thakur Anukul Chandra as an ideal. If I remember, Udita, once you said that dharma is one, and another bold statement coming from you that you take Thakur Anukul Chandra as your ideal, and we all do. Thank you, Udita. Thank you, Anushwa, Debjani. Your remark on obeying commands of the master and going to the school doesn't make us a student. So in same way, if we are not doing our homework as ordered by the teacher and not obeying the teacher doesn't serve our purpose. So also, if you are not obeying the commands of Shri Thakur Anukul Chandra, we are not in a true disciple at all. Shalini, it was nice for you to comment that if the mother is taking care of us, you should take care of mother. Yes, you should take care of your mother. Shantani, yeah, it was a bold statement that it was better to enjoy the love of the master than his scolding. Yeah, he is the Parampita, the Supreme Father, and once he scolds you, then you will be in a soup. So it's better to enjoy his love than his scolding. Kolpita talked about taking the commands of master seriously and translating into action. Yes, I do agree that what we are trying to do in this satsanga, Kolpita. Thanks, Sharbojit and Pratik. You told that you should be happy that the mastering is ordering you. So it is a nidesh which is coming from the Supreme Father, and you have to follow in and out. Yes, Pratik, I do agree. And Sharbojit, later on you highlighted the fact that the master being the materialized form of the bliss. And Abhijit, of course, it was brilliant to hear from you also, is that there was a discussion which came when Abhijit was speaking, that how is Thakur? And it's that the Thakur is great, and Thakur is like as we have kept it, as we visualize him. So if we are obeying his commands, we are visualizing him properly, otherwise not. Devarko, it was nice, and you highlighted on the fact that serving the master with his own hands. Well, that serves the purpose. And Durjoy, as brilliant as ever, you summarized everything properly. Durjoy, I have sent you the email of, in my email, I have sent you the 17th copy of Krishti Bhai. Please go through it. Now, thanks to everybody. But today I would like to take on from what we left in the last satsanga. So last satsanga, we highlighted on the fact that we are not the body, but we are the soul. And Thakur is the soul, and Thakur is residing in our hearts. what we see in is the body is the annamay kosh, that what we eat and we have built a body for ourselves. But this is not the end of it, because someday we have to leave this body, and the soul inside the body transmigrates into a new form, and the Thakur is with us. Thakur is within the soul. The soul is the bliss, and there was also a discussion one of the by one of our students that it is the bliss. Thakur is the bliss, and this bliss is living in our own hearts, in our own hearts, and this bliss never goes stale. So we may we may not be happy in this world, but Thakur is always ever happy. He is the supreme bliss, and he never goes stale, and he is in our hearts. And if he is in our hearts, if we are taking proper care of him, we will always be happy as ever. Now, Manutosla, could you just share the picture of somebody meditating? Now, last time we highlighted the fact that the Thakur is the soul, and how do we then communicate with him? If he is the soul, he is everything for us, then we need to communicate. And we can communicate with Thakur by the process of meditation. For example, what is meditation? Now, suppose we take a day-to-day situation when you are not in a meditative frame of mind, and we are under tension, under stress in our day-to-day activities. Then we are passing through a strange state of mind. In the times of stress, we notice that mind is typically jumping from one thought to another. As a result of this restlessness, it's getting exhausted. Meditation, in contrast to this directionless activity, helps us to overcome our restlessness by keeping this mind on an object of concentration. So traditionally what we do, Pritida, please switch off your mic. Apnar okan theke ekটু problem হচ্ছে. What we do is that traditionally what we do in meditation is that we sit in a lotus posture as shown in the picture, and we meditate. We repeat our Bij Nam, and we try to concentrate on Thakur. Now, meditation also helps us in other ways, as it has been noted that during the process of meditation, we can be a Shakshi or a witness. We are witness to what we are doing. When you are meditating on your idol, there is nobody in between. You and Thakur, you and the Supreme Father, and you are the witness to it. When we sit for meditation, many thoughts may come. Suppose in a stressful situation, if we ask somebody to meditate, then he may not do it properly because many thoughts may come to his mind. Many ideas float to the surface of our consciousness. But if we take up the attitude of a witness and cultivate the habit of studying, all this is passing through the mind and we derive peace. So we need to focus on him, that Thakur, you are with me and I am meditating, I am trying to see you, I am trying to feel you. And we continuously are repetitive with our Bij Nam. Then you see that your mind will be focused and you are one with your Supreme Lord who is in your heart. Now, those who are not in habit of meditating react violently. If I say somebody to immediately meditate, he may not agree to what I have said. He may react violently to it. The immediate result for that person is grief, because more often than not, mind has the tendency to ruminate over negative aspects of experience. The more we indulge in negative thoughts, the more we become prone to our nervous tension. But if we practice meditation and observe whatever thoughts float into our mind, we are able to see that slowly these thoughts subside of their own, and the entire pattern of our physiological stress and strain begins to decline. So we are always under a phenomena of stress and strain because of the day-to-day tension, day-to-day hectic activity. So if you are able to meditate, then slowly the stress and strain goes away and we are more focused even in whatever we are doing. Now, if you are looking at the picture, is it possible for us to meditate like this only, or is it true that when you are meditating we have to sit like this? Thakur says that it is not so, because since meditation serves to bring respite in our active lives, it is not sufficient to restrict into a few moments, because if you are sitting, closing your eyes and meditating, you may meditate only for a few minutes, maybe an half an hour, not more than that, because other thoughts also come in our mind. But once we go to the field of practical activity during day to day, in your day-to-day practice, when we are awake, we are not able to close the eyes. Shall we not meditate? Yes, we can do that. Thakur says that the remedy to this was suggested by Thakur when he said that we should always meditate while we are doing the work. And in one of his banis, Thakur quoted that "Hate koro kam, mukhe koro nam." So you are doing your work and you are focused, you are meditating also. You are repeating the bij now. That means you are more focused in your approach. So it's not necessary that during meditation we only sit with this particular pose, as you can see in the picture. Especially, this is what is known as the formal pose of meditation. Now, we should go what Thakur has said, that we should shut all our external activity and tell ourselves to meditate without any disturbance. So you are under a tremendous stress. You are tired after a hard and hectic day, and you need to concentrate. You need to meditate. You can simply open the eyes. You can be in whatever pose you are. You can be standing, you can be sitting, or you can be sitting like what you is shown in the picture, and meditating and repeating the bij now. So what happens is that we commune with our master. We get the commands from him. He would only reply to you, and we are able to focus more properly. So this is all I have to highlight today, is that doing meditation while you are even for your day-to-day work makes you more practical, makes you more confident, and makes you more confident in believing Thakur. And once, when you are sure that we are obeying the commands of our Supreme Court, of our Master, we enjoy the bliss with him. We are successful in whatever we do, and we are happy. Kalpita, next slide, please. Kalpita, if you could share the 17th issue of Krishna Vai with us. Yes. Now, such scholarly articles you will find in our publication from Satsanga Church, and this is the 17th issue of Krishna Vai. Pritida is with us. Pritida, I have also written many of the articles here. You can find articles in English. I have mailed to everybody. I have mailed to Sharbojit. I have mailed to Durjoy. I have mailed to Monotosda, Kalpita, if I remember, the Pratik. And if I get all the email IDs of everybody, I can mail you all also, everybody. I would like to have the email ID of Rajlakshmi to start with, and everybody. So please go through this our newsletter from Satsanga Church, Kolkata, that is Krishna Vai, and you will gain from it. So let us enjoy one nice song that I've also posted. Monotosda, if you could just, Kalpita, if you could just play for us. It's a song on Thakur Anupul Chandra. So thank you everybody. The little girl dancing in the song could be Udita, could be Anushwa, could be Debjani, could be Shalini, Shantini, Kolpita, or could be anybody. So thank you. That's all I have to say today. Joy Guru.
জয় গুরু পিনাকিদা। আমরা একজন সুজাতা মাইতি একজন মাকে দেখছি। জয় গুরু মা।